Hello and welcome to my channel. Going to be doing something without my bass today. Going to be demonstrating an app called VideoMaster from Future Moments. It's VideoMaster Pro actually. They state that this app is the only app with an EQ and volume boost along with many presets to give your video the best audio. You can import videos. They have a 6-band EQ. You have 16 different presets that model different types of EQs. And you have 3 variations of each EQ per different model. So what you get when you open up the app, you get this screen initially of loading videos. So I'm going to load a video that has a lot of talking in it. It's this one right here. It's going to take a second to analyze the audio. It's a long video, so it takes a minute. Not a minute, but, probably about 10 or 15 seconds. And there we go. So we got this one video loaded. So initially it opens up with the EQ. And what you get, just as far as the user interface goes, you have, you can save your presets, anything that you set up that you want to use for later. You can load presets that you've already had saved. You can reset the EQ all to the neutral position, 0 position. And you can also zoom. So zoom gives you a lot of space to move up and down and really fine tune your EQ. You can shrink it back down. Each band you can mute. Nice feature. And if you double click on the little box down there that tells you which band and which frequencies you're in, it gives you, you can adjust the F, which is the frequency, and the Q, which is basically the width of each band. All right, so I'm just going to move this, the cursor to an area where I'm talking a lot, which is most of this whole video. This is the raw footage from the camera that I record with. In this one, I was using a GoPro, which I'm not using anymore because I'm having a lot of issues with my GoPro. It's an older model, and I don't like it. So get the cursor to a spot where I'm talking. And you'll notice down at the bottom, there's like a volume adjustment. And when you load your video, it analyzes the audio of the video, and then it gets it to a louder range. So if you're recording from a camera that doesn't have a very good mic, or the audio may not be very loud, this can adjust the volume pretty loud. You can take it all the way up to 500%, and you can reduce it to 0 if you want. There we go. All right, well, that's close to 100. I guess a nice thing to be able to do on the volume adjustment would be to be able to double tap, and it takes it back to 100%. But if there is a problem and you want it back at 100 and you can't get it there, you can always reload the video. It will reanalyze, and it'll put it back at 100. So I'm going to put it in an area where I'm talking. Complicated instrument to play. So small compared to the fretless basses that I use. So we're going to compare the sound. But that's the original. That I'm going to be using is I'm going to play the original. Initially reverb 1, and it's now I'm going to take it off, and I'm going to let you hear the adjusted volume. A beautiful and unique reverb. It's an algorithmic reverb, and it's ideal for like 80s type drums. So 0 is the original, 100% is adjusted. And you can crank it up. It'll get distorted.
That gated reverb sound, you know, that when you hear it, you just know it's the 80s. And also the other app I'm going to be taking a look at is Ring a Bell. Combines a comb filter with a ring modulator, and it creates some really incredibly
Okay. So for the 6-band EQ,
sounds. And then the other one is going to be Moonshine. All of his apps are named very uniquely, and you know, it's just an interesting group of apps that he has. Moonshine is a stereo granulator effect, and it independently will granulate the left and right channels of any track.
So you can fine tune the audio and really, you know, like, you know, make it sound a lot better. Say if it's got a lot of treble, you can reduce the treble, can add a lot of mids, add bass.
And generally, if you don't really know what granulating is, it's basically like it takes a snapshot from a random deviations and certain positions in time on your sounds, and the grains become like a very interesting landscape. So,
I'm going to reset it.
You know, there's granulating synthesizers and, you know, that kind of thing. So this app is in that realm. So I'm not starting out with my bass. I'm going to start out with it's Audio Kit's Analog 909 is the it's a limited edition drum app.
So say I like what I've done, the adjustments I have, hit save, enter my name, and then click save. Preset wise, 16 different presets. Now I'm on the iPhone, so each of these EQ types, you can't really see what the knobs say or anything like that, but that's not a problem because these are not adjustable presets. They're all just the picture of the EQ is this just there for reference that you know it's a different EQ. So I'm going to get this playing and we'll go through some of the presets.
A bio or an about section on his website, and the guy's got a lot going on. He's a pretty interesting person. You know, he's a professional violinist, which
that one's a little more it's got like a little tinier mid-range sound.
That makes you unique and special to begin with because it's such a complex and complicated instrument to play.
It's a little flatter.
So small compared to the fretless basses that I use. But the effects that I'm going to be using is initially reverb.
And they're named as sort of a reference of maybe the appropriate use for them. This one's named Vlogs, ASMR if you want to chew on your microphone, Narrative, Podcasts, Voiceover, Rock, Folk, Blues, Classical, Country, Hip Hop, Electronic, Jazz, Latin, New Age, Pop, R&B and Soul, and then you got the custom EQ again. So it is geared in mind for vocals, but it's also, you can fine tune, say, music if you want. So let's see, we've gone through narrative, podcasts, voiceover. I'll start at voiceover.
One, and it's a beautiful and unique reverb. It's an algorithmic reverb, and it's ideal for like 80s type
rock setting
drums, you know, that gated reverb sound, that when you hear it, you just know it's the 80s.
Adds a lot of
And
bass.
also, the other app I'm going to be taking a look at is Ring a Bell. Combines a comb filter with a ring
Folk, a little less bass.
modulator, and it creates some really incredibly rich sounds. And then the other one is going to be Moonshine. All of his apps are named very uniquely, and it's just an interesting group of apps that he.
Let me see if I can get a music in here. Podcast, voiceover, rock. So we'll start at rock. Oh, when I load a video, it's going to change back to the 6-band EQ default. Let's see what this one is. So it doesn't switch back to the 6-band. I was wrong. This is like a little original piece that I did. So I don't think I've ever put it out, so it wasn't for any demo video or anything like that. So this is just a little original piece. Some of the changes are very subtle. Let's start this over. Hip hop. Figured there'd be a little more bass for hip hop. Electronic, this should be perfect for this one. Jazz, a little flatter. New age. Pop. R&B and soul. Let's get this playing again. Really boost the volume. And back to the custom. Zoom. Put some more bass in there. Wow, that's a cool song. Forgot about that one. So anyway, enough about that song. So, in a nutshell, that's it. This is an app that's geared at post-production after you record. Say like this video, if I didn't like the sound of the audio and I wanted to do some more finer adjustments to it, loaded here in VideoMaster Pro from Future Moments. And you can scroll through 16 presets or customize your own EQ presets. I noticed a lot of the EQ the changes are very subtle, which is nice. I mean, I wouldn't want like big dramatic changes. So I think the fine adjustments are better rather than big dramatic things. You can do vocals and music with it. And the big plus for this is if you need a big volume boost, this is the app you want for it. It does it automatically. It analyzes the video and then adjusts the volume appropriately. If you guys need help with your videos post-production and say you need a little volume boost, I would head over to the App Store, pick up VideoMaster Pro from Future Moments. This app is exactly what you need, and you can also fine-tune the EQ with either presets or your own preset if you want to create your own. So once again, I really appreciate you guys checking in. Please remember to hit that thumbs up if you like what you see and hear, and always remember to be kind, like, and subscribe.